So we're going to be making paper coils, and I just wanted to show you some kind of like steps for the process of this. So I have my first sheet of watercolor paper, which I've drawn the edges for, and I'm building my coils within that space. So you should have 2 more sheets of watercolor paper left if you've gotten the supply kits from me. Otherwise, you're just using 2 more sheets of paper. That should be enough. So I've taken just like my 1 sheet of paper, and I'm just cutting it into strips. So just something kind of like that. That's fine. And they could be various thicknesses. You can cut these down as you need to, so you don't have to be worrying about the size to begin with. If you want to measure it out for regular sizing, that's fine. That's up to you, but I didn't do that for mine. All right, so to roll the coils, I'm going to use a pencil as kind of my tool to help with the rolling. So I'm just going to start with the edge of the paper on the pencil. I'm just going to start to roll this up. You only need to go about 2 or 3 layers, you can see, 2 or 3 layers over the pencil. You don't need to go nuts because it's going to be a waste of paper, and then you won't have enough to finish your tile. So I'm going to cut off the extra and save this for another coil. And I'm going to really kind of pinch that to the pencil so it gets nice and bent. Okay, I'm going to slide the pencil out, and then I'm just going to use a glue stick for this. A glue stick is actually going to be easier, so it'll be less messy. And I'm just going to glue where the seam is, kind of rub that down. And when I glue this down on my paper, I'm going to make sure I glue the seam side down. So I'm going to put some glue on my paper. I'm going to fit this right next to the ones I already had. Now these kind of tend to pop up because it's like all this kind of, rolled up paper. It's like energy that's kind of waiting to undo. So what I do is I take my pencil and I just go inside my coil and I press down. So I really make sure that my coil is glued onto my paper. These do kind of tend to pop up a little bit, like this one here, right? But it's still glued to my paper and I'm not worried. And you're going to be painting this later on. So if a little of them kind of pop up, it's not the end of the world. You can also take a little bit of your glue and kind of glue them together if they're not behaving. And just kind of hold it there. And actually use the glue stick to glue them to each other if you need to. So that will just kind of hold there. All right, so you don't have to make us, right? This is a non-objective design. So you don't have to make this. I have this little scrap here, so I'm just going to make one more. So you don't have to make this look like anything. You just kind of want a variety of, so I'm going to press it to the pencil, slide it out. You want a variety of directions, of sizes. We're not really doing a variety of shapes, but the thicknesses, like this one's thinner and this one's a little thicker. Oh, and he's not staying put. All right, so glue on my paper. And once you have your coils, if you need to cut them to fit, flip this around so you can see it better. All right, and I'm going to take my pencil, kind of rub that down. Right. And once you do the pencil at the end, it really helps to kind of like settle it down, right? So it's not going to pop up. Do one more. So roll my paper. 2 or 3 rolls, cut off the extra for later use. And fit this right into here. And you can kind of play with them and see where they're going to fit. You want as little space, as little empty white space as possible. All right, so I'm just going to keep working, fill in my tile space, and then we'll talk about painting.